Hi, everybody.
Hi. We're here. It's
Welcome.
Tuesday.
We are here. We are here. It seemed like I felt like I was rushing tonight. But
I was rushing.
anyways, trying to get things done. Anyway, we are here. We're in the KnitChat Cafe. So hi, everybody. Welcome. If it's your first time, we hope you enjoy. And everybody else, thanks so much for coming back to visit with us every Tuesday. So
Babette says she can hear us and see us.
Good.
Thank you.
My name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And we're in Southwestern Ontario, but 2 days from now, we're going to be in New York.
We'll be in Montreal. I'm going to be in Montreal. I don't know where you're going to be.
Okay. No, I'm going to be in Montreal. I don't know why I said New York. I just have bubbly water. That's it. Okay. We will be in Montreal. So I don't think we can actually get on the wrong train and go to New York.
Oh, I bet we could. Well, no, I guess we couldn't make it to New York, but
no, we
could definitely get on the wrong train.
We'd notice border crossing, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
So, anyway, hi everybody. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. So
it has. It's been a crazy week.
I went down to London on Friday to visit with Jacqueline and Zoe. And we went to a couple of different local markets in London so that was nice because it was absolutely a gorgeous day in London on Saturday. And then when I came back here, it was freezing. It was 27 degrees when I left London. When I got to Sarnia, it was 15. Anyway, but we had a really nice time. Jacqueline and I used to go shopping before Zoe. We used to go shopping all the time, full day shopping, and we just don't get a chance to do it that often anymore. And Zoe was at a birthday party. So now our full shopping day has turned into like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, exactly. Whatever you can squeeze in though, right? We
did. But we had fun. We just went to some markets, and it was really nice weather to be in the open air markets. So not even any yarny things, just
hanging out,
like local artisans. Yeah. Nice. It was fun.
Very nice. So. Yeah. I was here this weekend. I was working on Saturday, and then Sunday we went out Saturday night for dinner to celebrate a birthday of my brother-in-law. So we didn't go out for Mother's Day because that would be 2 meals out on the same weekend. That'd be a lot. I think we had omelets on Sunday night for dinner. Just Mike and I. It was good. The kids came by, and I got my FaceTime call from Mr. Miles, and he was posing with some lovely photos that said Happy Mother's Day. And I hope everybody had a wonderful day. Mother's Day, I think they should stop calling it Mother's Day. Maybe it should just be, well, no, I'm going to get in trouble saying that too. I was going to say maybe it should just be Women's Day, but there are some men that have been mothers too. So maybe it's just, I don't know, just to celebrate motherhood. Mothers in every way, shape, and form, biological, non-biological.
Your families.
How about, we have a family day in Canada. It was a made-up holiday, but maybe we need to do more with it. So yes, it was a really nice day, and I hope everybody at least got a chance to do some relaxing and some knitting this weekend.
Okay, I just have to show you. I have to show you a couple of the things I got. They're not yarn, so I'm not saving them for acquisitions at the end, but they're kind of really cute. So when I was with Jacqueline, you see that little pin?
Yes, I like that.
Jan Cat. This was one of the girls that was we went to there's a little market in St. Thomas that just runs through the summer. And apparently Jacqueline had been following this girl online, and she had no idea the girl was going to be at the market. So she got me this cute little cat pin playing with a ball of yarn. So obviously that's going to have to go on my one of my knitting bags. So, and Zoe was so jealous, of course, because the cat's got a purple ball of yarn.
Of course. Of
So,
course. Yes.
anyway, she had some really cute stuff, and it's where is it here? jancat.art. So I will link that website, because she had a bunch of cute, she had little cute little pouches that you could use for notions pouches, and a lot of them had like some of the little cat and yarn and things on them, so it was really cute. And then the other thing that I got from my son and my daughter-in-law, I had not ever seen these before.
Corkers.
Look at this. You make a dinosaur out of your cork. It's got all the little pieces. So next week I'll show you what it actually looks like. I just wanted to show it to you in the box. But isn't that cute?
Yes, he'll fit on the raft.
That's right. That's right. So
he can keep Pearl company.
We're obviously always looking at
wine-related gifts.
Corks, right? So I said, oh, I'm just going to have to drink some more wine now until I get some more corks. And my daughter-in-law goes, that wasn't the intent. I thought it was very cute. And next week I'll show you him all made up.
It is very cute. Very cute.
Anyway.
You also got some walking sticks for Mother's Day.
I did. I was going to bring them up and show you. That was from Ross. Oh, yeah. I thought, oh, very appropriate gift. And then, of course, the kids were all teasing me. I'm going to a cottage with Jacqueline and Mike and Zoe in the summer. And Jacqueline goes, are you going to bring those? There's a slight grade down to the dock. And someone else texted back, yes, she is.
Yes. So your family is trying to keep you upright.
That's right. So
I was going to ask you when you showed me the walking sticks, I was going to say, oh, was the store all out of bubble wrap? But yeah.
Anyway, they're folding walking sticks. I'm hoping I'm not going to need them for any yarn stores this weekend. So
very good. I just want to go back. There's a couple of comments. Lisa Loves Stitchin' had put this comment in. She said, in the UK, they actually call it Mothering Sunday. So it's for anyone who plays a mothering role. I like that. And then you could have Fathering Sunday as well, because lots of people have to be both roles these days, right? So I think that's very fitting. Thank you, Lisa. And there's a bunch of people in here from all over the place. Scylla's here from Iceland. What time is it in Iceland, Scylla? I don't know. I feel like I need to have all these world clocks around me down here in the studio so I can see what time everybody is up. And Brigitte is here from the Yukon. She said it's a sunny day in the Yukon. Elaine is in Smoky, BC. I know there's a lot of fires going on out there.
Well, they're in Alberta too. So.
Yeah.
And I see that Denise said that her hubby got her a gift card from work and let her order 6 cones of Coast from Holst.
Oh, that's a nice hubby.
So anyway, and I've seen some comments in here about my hair. So thank you. This is the first time I've tried it. I got one of those. I should have brought it down to show you. It's one of those things that it's like a long tube, right? But it folds at the top. So you kind of pin it up here, and then you've got 2 like long pieces hanging down.
Is
and
it
then
the
you wrap
satin?
your hair.
Yes. And you sleep in it. Yes.
No, I didn't sleep in it. I just waited today till my hair was partly dry and then put it in and then just let it. So this side, which side?
Your left side is perfect.
This side turned out perfect. And this side I got to work on. So, but I thought not bad for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and so easy. Like really, it took like 5 minutes to put in, right?
I've been thinking about buying one because then I thought I could just sleep in it, because I always have to top my hair up when I sleep anyway. I cannot bear my hair to touch me when I sleep. So
anyway, it was, so I'll definitely use it again. And it's not very expensive, and it's certainly a whole lot easier than curlers. And you could easily sleep in it because there's really nothing on the back of your head.
It's also a lot kinder to your hair if you think about it, because you're not styling it with heat, right? So it's a gentler way to style. Absolutely. May Jo was in Montreal on Mother's Day. She went to Espace Tricot and she got some yarn. Yay. Okay. Oh, Scylla said it's 23:09. So it's just after 11 o'clock there. And Lisa said it's 9 a.m. in Brisbane. So that would be 9 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, right?
Yes.
That one
Yes, because
I try to
I
remember.
think if I'm right, I think then New Zealand is actually another couple of hours ahead of that. So I think like there, I think it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So. But.
All right. So a few other people have commented on our coloring once again.
Again, nobody texted anybody or
nobody ever texts anybody about that. We're just lucky if we both show up on the same night at the same time. We figure we are doing well. So maybe we can talk about what we're wearing.
Okay. Okay. You go ahead.
Oh, I was making a note. 10. Okay.
I will.
10.
Yeah, you threw
Sorry.
me off there. That's okay. Actually, before you go into that, even though now you've just made your note, there were a couple of people that had messaged me with some things. And the first was we had a viewer that texted me, and we're getting into the spring and summer season, and people are thinking about what they're going to knit. Spring and summer type sweaters. So she had told me about a podcast called Knitted by Whitney and an episode that she just put out.
Mm-hmm.
And the episode was 30 size inclusive spring and summer tops. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will link that below in the video. So if you're looking for spring and summer tops that you might want to wear, these are 30 size inclusive ones. And it's always nice to have ideas. I don't know whether or not, like I said, I haven't watched it, so I don't know whether or not she's knit all the tops or not.
She knits a lot. I follow her on Instagram, and
okay.
She's, I believe she's in the East Coast too. So she's,
okay.
I don't think she's from Nova Scotia. I feel like it's somewhere else in the East Coast, maybe New Brunswick.
Okay.
Maybe I'm completely wrong, but anyway, she's pretty funny too. And she had recently done a little series of things about sweaters that she had found on TV shows that she then went in and found patterns that are similar or to like recreate the knits, which is that's a fun adventure too. I think she calls it Knitflix instead of
Netflix.
Yeah.
And then there was another viewer who had sent me a picture of a little stitch marker that she uses, that she made herself. So here's a picture of it. So she just gets 5 of those little rings, and she's got them in different colors. So red is like stop, and then the yellow is like slow down, and the green is go. So she kind of knows that the order that they go in. So then at the end of every row, when she's doing her sock, she just moves it to the next one. And then once she's gone through that twice, she puts a stitch marker on for 10. And then you never actually have to go back and count any of your rows.
That's pretty clever.
So yeah. So she said she just gets the little rubberized markers, the rings, just from Amazon, and then she's just put them together with some split rings. So
very nice.
And I mean, I guess really you could probably put a row of 10 if you wanted to.
You could. You
right?
could.
You just got to remember to keep going in
which
the same
direction you're going in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
very
yeah,
fun.
I thought that was clever, because I've been working on a dark yarn, and dark yarns are the hardest to go back and count your rows. So something like that would be a good idea. So
Lori said that's a good idea that Whitney had about the Knitflix sweaters, because she said that she's still in love with the sweaters that Cameron Diaz wore in The Holiday. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie. Mostly I love that little cottage that she got to go to. I mean, her digs in LA were pretty good too, but I love that little cottage in the Cotswolds. And I think what a fun premise. And I love, I just like the whole thing. I like, I can't remember his name, but the older gentleman in the movie, and he talked about the little meet cute, and Arthur, his name was. And when Jack Black made up the music for him, he's like, Arthur, do. I thought that was so cute. I love that movie. I probably watch that movie maybe twice a year, Christmas or not. I just enjoy it. I really like it. So
Nick had a good idea too here. She said you could put a little charm at the bottom of your ring, so you know that you're heading towards the bottom. So good idea. I might have to look into making some of those.
Can you get them ready for tomorrow for us?
No, I can't.
Have you started packing yet? Have you organized at all?
No.
I got a new, okay, but you have all day. I do not. I got a new suitcase today, so hopefully it will be a little bit better.
I'm checking the weather constantly to think about what
to bring. So right?
I'm just gonna, since I'm bringing my big suitcase anyway, so I'm just gonna bring some stuff in case it's hot and some stuff in case it's not.
Okay, well, if you're bringing the big suitcase, then bring your hair straightener and I'll skip mine.
I wasn't going to bring it. I can do this. I don't need a hair straightener.
I'm having the worst hair day today. You know what I did? My hair was parted on the left, and tonight when I got home, I wanted to move it over to the right, and you just can't do that sometimes. So I've got these weird pieces here that are just, they won't go the other direction. So I tried to spray them in place. We'll see. They might just like spring out on their own. But anyway, okay. Can we get to what we're wearing?
Now we can talk about what we're wearing. Okay.
Okay, so mine is not knitted. Mine is a shirt that I sewed up last night because I was thinking I had some plans for this shirt. I do have a picture of it in here for the sewers among us. This is the Basili or Basili, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, flutter sleeve top. It is a free PDF sewing pattern, and the website, all of her patterns are free. You're welcome to make a donation. If you've tried a pattern and you liked it, maybe you could head back in there and make a small donation. I thought I had put the name of the maker. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Okay. So it's the Basili Flutter Top by Tiana's Closet, and that's her website. It isn't the easiest to navigate. It's set up sort of like a blog post. You kind of have to go in and just like scroll through until you find a pattern that you're interested in. So this is the first time that I've made one of her patterns. This is a very, very beginner friendly, easy sewing top. I did mine with a full lining inside the top yoke part, just so that I didn't have to deal with putting any bias facings in there. And this is just a very light piece of like viscose that I got at Fabricland. And I'm channeling my Heather Crawford tonight because I feel like this is a color that Heather Crawford would wear for sure. Or, Heather lives in these colors. She's got bags and all of her knitting is these colors. So I was truly thinking of Heather when I was making the shirt last night. But what I thought it would look fun with, it's kind of like a boho styled, loose, just very flowy, loose fitting top. And I have these jeans that I did some sashiko stitching on the legs. I only ever got one leg done. That's kind of on my agenda tonight, to maybe go back in and do something on the other leg. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be hand stitching on the train. We don't know. But I think this will look pretty good with this top. Mm-hmm. And I got some new clogs this weekend or past week. And I didn't know how I'd feel about clogs, but I am totally into the clogs. So if you're in Montreal this weekend, you may see me sporting this outfit if we get a nice warm day, because I thought not everything has to be knitted there. So that's what I'm wearing. And you? I
am wearing the Zomerknoes by Elspeth Judith, and I did put a picture in because I'm not standing up because I just have leggings on. So this is a top that did we make it last summer or the summer before? I can't remember.
Yes, we made it last summer because we took them to Chicago with us.
Oh, okay. So this is we did it last summer. Mine is made in Juniper Moon Farm Zoe, which is a cotton linen blend. That's what the white is. And then I did the garter rows because there's garter rows dividing up all the different panels, texture panels. And I did it in a hand spun, which is Polwarth silk. And this was actually, doing it this way was actually not my idea. It was Isabel's idea. I had seen hers on Ravelry and absolutely loved it. So I thought, yeah, well, that's a good way to put a little bit of hand spun in. And even though the hand spun is like a more of a woolly type yarn, because it's all broken up with the white, like it's fine for, especially like a day like today where it's not super hot. But it's not, I don't really want a long sleeve woolen sweater on either. So, and this pattern, I know a lot of people were making this last year, and I know it is a fun pattern to knit because you're constantly moving to a new stitch pattern. So you don't have time to get bored. It fits well because it's like in the round, so you can try it on as you go along. Therefore, you can make it as short or as long as you would like. Same with when you go back to the sleeves, because you're just going to add bands of the different texture to get the sleeve to end up wherever you want it to end up. So I know you did yours in Bell.
I did in the drop spell. Yes,
there was a lot of people that did it in Bell. Oh, Karen says she's knitting one right now in the Remix Light. That would be nice too. So I would love to do another one, like maybe just a solid color one, because it was a fun knit. So maybe we'll have to see.
Well,
So.
there's a Somer Knus Light now as well. That might be fun. I'm thinking something like Remix Light could be used for that. I'm not sure.
That's what someone just said that they were knitting it in that. Karen.
Okay.
She's knitting it in Remix Light. So
okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure like the Remix Light is 400 meters or 400 yards. Like I'm sure I know I could for sure, but a short sleeve crop version, I'm pretty sure you could get with 2 balls of the remix.
For sure. Absolutely you could.
So,
yes.
It just depends on how much length you want to add and how long you want your sleeves.
Yeah.
So
Pat wants to know if you did helical knitting for your colored rose.
No, because it was just a band or a skein that I had spun of a pulver silk. So it was just, doesn't really matter when you've got it separated like this either. Like it's more where you really need to do the helical is when you're knitting a whole solid piece and you really don't want to see the definition where one skein ends and the next skein starts. I did some of the pieces that I'll show you later on today. I did do helical knitting with. So
very good.
Okay, so Kim says the new Somer Knus doesn't have the same size range in case anybody hasn't checked it out. So that's good to know.
Okay.
So moving on. Did you finish anything?
I did. I didn't finish probably quite as much as you this week, but I did finish the sewing last night. I finished a knitted thing too, and I finished some more sewing that I can talk about after. But I finished my Northern Comfort socks. And this is a pattern. I did put in a banner.
I'll look for it.
Okay, there's a banner in there. I believe she is the designer is the same person who dyes the yarn. And these are probably going to become like my new favorite cozy socks. The yarn is Roots and Rain, and it is, excuse me, it's her field sock. And it is 80% Canadian wool made up of 3 breeds. It's a Corriedale, a Dorset, and a Suffolk. And the Suffolk is what gives it these dark, there's like a dark element in there, dark guard hairs. I absolutely love these. These are like squish beyond squish. They're super cozy. So it's, even though it's called a field sock, this is more of a DK weight. There was only 48 stitches in here to make this sock. It's ribbed all across the top, but it's just a stockinette on the bottom. It's got, I believe this is a square heel, because when I look, well, not that you could see it in that skinny little thing, but when I look at it, I'll take it off the blocker. When I look at it, there's no curve. Like it is very, very square there. So I think it is a square heel. It's got a really nice gusset, but these are absolutely amazing. So she uses all natural items to do her dyeing with. And this is dyed using Eastern Brazil wood. It's a beautiful color. And they come in 115 gram balls for 430 yards. And I meant to do this before, but I'll do it now. Turn on my scale. I did remember to carry it down. Give it a minute to warm up. Let's see what I have left.
I'm going to say hi to Janet. Janet is watching us while she's camping.
Oh, nice.
And Janet, when I went camping when I was a kid, we certainly never watched anything. we thought we had gone to paradise if we had flush toilets.
So I still have 55 grams left. I still have like a really big ball. So this came in, excuse me, just a little bit over the halfway mark to make this pair. And I am a ladies 8.5, we'll say. And these are cozy though. I'm going to love wearing these with my Birkenstocks because I'm totally into wearing the socks and sandals now. I've become that person. And these will probably even, I don't know if these will fit in my clogs or not. The clogs are a little more fitted, but these would be super cozy to wear around the house. So I highly recommend the pattern. She has the pattern on her website along with the yarn, and she periodically has sales too. So that's the ball band. And you should get yourself some of this. This is gorgeous yarn. Okay.
I might. Okay, so I have a couple of finishes. So the first one is my Felix cardigan. So this is the Felix cardigan by Amy Christophers. And I do
I'll look for it.
Okay. And it is done in Leo and Roxy 80/20 sock in the Patches to Patches colorway, the Leo and Roxy silk mohair in the Meredith colorway, and then it's held with the King Cole Cosmos. I don't know what the color, it's a silver color with the multicolored sprinkles. I think it might be Stardust or Starlight.
Not sure.
I think it was Starburst,
Starbright, Starlight,
something like that. So, and that's a picture of me wearing it, and the sparkle in the pictures,
it
like,
doesn't
you can't
show.
really see the sparkle, but when you see this in the sunlight, like the sparkle just like shines.
Trust me,
through.
it shows. It definitely shows. Yes.
And I did just finish it off with the one button up at the top. So like this is definitely coming to Montreal because I mean, I can have a sundress underneath it. It's got lots of colors in the Patches to Patches. There's gold, there's blues, there's burgundies. Basically with the light gray, you could almost wear it over any color of a dress. And Sarah says she's going to copy me. So it was a fun, fast knit. So I did size down my needles because I believe that the stitch gauge for the Felix was 14. This is about 16, but that was the fabric that I liked. So I just went with that. I cast on for the second size, and then I just went with the measurements that I wanted as far as the depth to the underarm, because you do this eyelet, right, which is your increases for your raglan on both the fronts and the back. And then you just continue knitting until you get to the armhole. So it's just plain knitting in there, so you can kind of make the yoke depth as much as you want. And then the sleeves, I just did them the same all the way down. I didn't do any decreases. I just did them the same all the way down, and then did a tighter cuff. Did all my ribs in twisted rib because I really like the look of twisted rib, and I think that I find it holds its shape better. And I did tubular cast off on all of the bottom of the ribs, plus a tubular cast on at the top of the neck. And the neck was something that you picked up after. So you actually just cast on, did your, the body. And I can't know, what did you do first here? You did the bands first, and then you picked up for the neck band. So you did your button band and your, buttonhole band before you picked up all the stitches for the neck band. That way on the neck band too, you could kind of judge like how much you kind of wanted to pull it in, because I don't think that I cast on as many stitches as what the pattern called for. But if you're doing the neck band at the end, you can kind of tell once you put it on how much you want that cardigan to come in.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, so I'm really, really happy with it, and I'll definitely be wearing it this weekend sometime.
I don't know if I'll be wearing my sparkle sweater or not. I'm desperately trying.
Felix cardigan is, I would say it's even a good pattern for beginners. It's very well explained. It's a bigger gauge. So it means if you're a first time sweater knitter, you see progress a lot sooner. And it's a beautiful wearable cardigan. You can customize the length of the body. I could have just did it 3/4 sleeves if I wanted to, or even just a little short sleeve one. So there's lots of ways that you could adjust that pattern. So.
Absolutely. Isabel says that she's wearing her Felix pullover tonight. It's that cold in Montreal.
Oh, well, it's gotten a lot chillier here.
Yeah, it is. And so windy today. Oh my gosh. So windy out there. It's crazy.
I know. I was getting, my allergies were getting better, and then the wind picks up and it's like.
No, and my car is completely covered in the yellow pollen.
I know.
What a mess. What a mess. So, all right. I have another finish.
Totally losing my voice.
I know. That's how I feel too.
Okay, go ahead.
I have another finish, but it's also sewing. So I almost finished them last week, and all I had left to do was the hem, but I wasn't able to get a decent picture. So what I'm talking about are the pleat pants. And I made these. The pattern is by Ready to Sew. I made them out of a black linen. So I put the hem in them last night, and I tried to get Mike to take some pictures. I wasn't in the mood for picture taking last night, so they're not great. So here they are. I kind of have this look on my face, but I put them on with the sweater that I knit to go with them,
Oh, they look
and
good.
I really like them. I really
Yeah.
do like them. Yeah. So ignore the bad hairdo and the fact I forgot. I took the pictures. I'm like, I don't have a bra on in these pictures after.
Well,
This was an after work photo, so just ignore that, but you get the idea. So the pleat goes across the front of the leg, and then there's one other one that maybe shows the pleat a little bit better there. So that's and that is the new sweater too as well. That was the Heartwarmer tee by Justina Lorkowska that I finished using the Sonder yarn in the colorway Free Spirit, and I absolutely love that sweater. It did block a little bit longer before when I tried it on with those pants before I blocked it, it was like perfect. And then when I popped it on last night, it's a little long. So I might just have to kind of tuck something in a waistband there. But I think that's going to be a really versatile sweater. I think I'll be able to wear it with a lot of things. So yeah. Okay. So that was my other finish.
okay, so I have another finish. So I finished this.
And it looks amazing.
So, there, I'm going to hold it because someone said I don't have to look. I can just hold it up. Can you see it? I can't
Yes.
see what you're seeing. Okay.
Yes. No, it's
So-
good. All good.
Okay. So this is the ranunculus. So this is a pattern by Midori Hirose. So this is my 5th ranunculus. So,
But it's your
this one
third
is-
one for you, right? Is it?
No.
You have 5 yourself? I thought you made them for somebody else.
Those were love notes.
Okay.
So this is done in Leo and Roxy 80/20 sock in the Kinder Flamingo colorway. And it's also done in their silk mohair in the Kinder Flamingo colorway. And then I held it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the sparkles?
Yes.
So the sparkle yarn is Sequenicity by Ella Ray, which I had ordered from the Knitting Loft, and that color is flamingo. So they just sort of all went together. This is one skein of the Leo and Roxy mohair and one skein of the 80/20 sock. And I still have like 7 or 8 grams left of the mohair. And then it's like a skein and a half of the Sequenicity because it's got less yardage. So modifications that I made. A lot of times when I see a ranunculus, I don't like the fact that the neckband looks so stretched out because you start with so few stitches. So I believe that the neckband starts with 60. I cast on 74. So I did my rib on a smaller needle with the 74 stitches, and then I increased up to what you were supposed to have when you did the increased row after the original stitch count. So I think that gives me a neckline that I like better than the one that in the pattern that really stretches out. I did do the tubular cast on. And then the other thing, I've got my short rows in the back, so you can see how that drops down there. Now the actual pattern also calls for short rows in the front. I didn't do any short rows in the front. So what I did was once I finished the back short rows, I just knit a couple of rounds and then started into the texture pattern. So I pretty much did I did it as per the size 1, because I'm knitting it from the most recent update of the pattern where she's got all the sizes included. So I worked the size 1 up till the point where I got to the end of the yoke, and then you move into the raglan. So at this point, I knew that I had enough for the body, for as wide as I wanted the body to be, but I was a little bit worried that there wasn't enough in the sleeves. So I continued the required increases in the sleeves, but I left the increases out of the body. So then I still ended up with the sleeves that are for the size 1, but my body's it would end up being about 8 stitches less. And again, this is probably about 16 stitches per inch, whereas the actual pattern, I believe, calls for 14.
So yes, I think it does.
Yeah,
which is a fairly loose gauge, by the way.
It is a fairly loose gauge.
Pretty loose.
Now this is fairly substantial because you've got the 3 strands together of the mohair, the fingering, and even though the sequins, this actually adds more weight than the sequin yarn that I used in the Felix. Like this sequinicity has a little bit more weight to it than what the King Cole does.
King Cole, yes.
So it does add a little bit to your gauge.
Right, because you did say that. You said it actually did bulk it up a little bit, whereas like when we've been knitting with the other, we didn't notice any change.
No. So this I did on a 5.5 millimeter needle, and I believe that the pattern calls for a 6 millimeter needle. And then I did my ribs on a 4.5 millimeter needle. And in this case, I did want the rib to come in because I'm going to wear it over like either high-waisted pants or just a dress that kind of comes like to here. So I just wanted that, which is new for me because I don't normally do that because I'm already short. So a crop seems like exceedingly small. So,
but I think we talked about that last week too. And your short sweaters aren't that much shorter than my short sweaters.
I'm more long-waisted because when I buy petite stuff, I find the tops are too small, but I really need the petite stuff for the pants. So yeah, so I did get a dress that's got this kind of peachy, blushy, pinky color in it. And I think it'll look really nice with it. I hope. And anyways, when I got to the sleeves, all I did in the sleeves, I didn't do any decreases in the sleeves either. But what I did was I weighed my remaining yarn, and I knew that the least yarn amount that I had was the 80-20 sock. So I divided it into 2 equal balls, and then I just kind of did it. And I still ended up with about maybe 4 grams of that left, but I didn't want to cut it too short and have to rip something back, especially not when you're ripping back a tubular cast off. No, because again, same on this one, it's tubular. I did tubular all.
Yeah, that's not fun for anybody. No way.
No. Nope. So I'm really, this is a super, super quick knit for sure. So, and you just like, it seems like the yoke just flies off the needles. It's so much fun to knit.
I know. I love doing that yoke. So we have a question in here. Somebody is asking for a fairly beginner sweater knitter, which the ranunculus or the love note. I actually think the love note would be the easier of the 2 sweaters. It's totally a matter of preference. There are some stitches that you may not be familiar with in the ranunculus, but she also has a video for every single one of her stitches. And I feel that the videos are pretty explanatory if you were looking at them from a new point of view. And there are lots of people that had, because I know the cast on for the neck is a tubular cast on. And there are a lot of people that struggle with that cast on. So you could very easily alternate that cast on. You may have to do a few more stitches, but change it up to something that you're a little bit more interested to have if you found that tricky.
She does also suggest that in the pattern that that you can do just a regular cast on. Like she kind of explains both ways. But I think that actually the love note, I don't find either of them difficult, but I almost think the ranunculus would be easier because the love note's got that lace pattern in here where you've got to constantly count.
I guess, but lace is still, lace is yarn over.
We're talking about a beginner knitter.
Yes, but lace is a yarn over. Whereas
it's not just, it's yarn over and knit 2 together and SSK. And if you get one stitch off on it, it's hard we've done so much of it. It's hard for us to say what is harder and what is easier. To tell you the truth, what would be easier is doing a Felix pullover.
Well, yes, but then, you don't have that really
you've
fancy.
Still got some detail in here. I'm saying if it's a first time knitter, because I think that would give you the confidence then to go on and do something that does have like a yoke pattern. The difference I would say in this is you're not really going from a chart. It would be hard on this one to put in markers like at every kind of repeat, whereas in the love note you could do that. Right, because you've kind of got a graph to follow, and you could actually put in markers for each repeat so that you would know right away if you were off somewhere. So this is kind of like you don't know till you get to the end of the row if you were off somewhere.
So there's a few comments. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a few comments in here that a few people found the lace intimidating on the love note because the lace is staggered, and that's true. I guess I had forgotten about that. And but some other comments too. Phyllis said that she did the long tail cast on for the ranunculus and it was completely fine. So if that it is daunting, if that tubular cast on is daunting, a regular cast on will work. Also, Susan reminded us, doesn't the love note have a provisional cast on? It does. So when I did my first love note, I thought, no, I'm going to do this according to the pattern writer. And I did the provisional cast on. And by the time I finished the sweater, went back to do it, I thought, I don't really know why I did this provisional cast on. Everything was completely fine. I think they set it in there in case you felt that it did need to be adjusted. But in my case, it worked out perfectly and it didn't need to be. So when I did my second one, I just went for it. I cast on, I used a tubular cast on and just took off and it was completely fine. So,
and that's like when we're talking about if you're a beginner knitter, like it's easy for us to say, okay, you don't have to do that provisional cast on, but then you've got to go back to the end of the pattern and you've got to look at the stitches and you've got to work back. So that might be daunting for a first time sweater knitter. So it's, it's hard to say. They both have, and I think that's part of the reason why the patterns are so popular. They do have just a little bit of, I don't know, bling. It's not bling, but something that kind of sets them apart. And each of them are techniques that are a little bit different that you don't always see in just a regular sweater. So, it's, some people find lace really easy. Some people don't. It just depends. I mean, but it's just knitting, right? You can rip it back. So the only time you can't rip back in knitting is if you're doing something that's steeked and you cut it. But for anything else, well, other than if you do a tubular cast on, that's not the easiest to rip back. But or if you just do like a plain long tail cast on, then,
something with mohair or something with sequins, that may not be so easy to go back on either. But okay, yes. And here's another suggestion, and you could probably agree to that because I'm obsessed with this sweater. I haven't made it yet, but it's like coming up on my hit list. The Lento, super easy, best beginner sweater. Sarah showed us one that she had made at coffee one morning, and I immediately obsessed. I ran right out and I bought the exact fabric of a dress that she showed off as well. And I loved that sweater that she made. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah. Hi, Mary. Mary just joined.
Okay.
She's waving.
Hi, Mary.
Is it smoky where you are, Mary? Because I know you're in BC. Okay.
Okay. Do you have any more finishes?
No. Nope. That's it for finishes.
Okay. I don't have any more finishes either.
I did remember something that I had sat right here that I wouldn't forget. So just before we leave finishes, maybe I'll talk about it quickly. When I was knitting those socks with the Roots and Rain yarn, I felt, I know everybody likes different needle types, and I said that I would try these and report back on them. So I always feel that if something is a little bit more rustic, I like the way a polished wood needle feels. I know you like your metal, but I really like a polished wood. So what I bought was the Haya bamboo circular knitting needles, and they are a high polish bamboo. So they didn't really feel like wood at all. I don't know how well they're going to show, but they're tiny.
Wow, those are tiny. I already know I wouldn't like knitting with those.
I love knitting with them. So these are the 9-inch, and they advertise themselves as being natural feeling, smooth as silk, which kind of feels like your legs after a good shave. But anyway, these feel very, very smooth and soft, and I really, really enjoyed knitting with them. So these are going to become my new rustic sock knitting needles. And if there's anybody else out there that likes to work with a wood tip that is very, very smooth, I would highly recommend these, highly. And I got these from Acme Fibers in Ontario, and I love ordering from her because she's a shop that, since this will just fit into an envelope, she actually puts it in an envelope. And if you live in Ontario or Canada, these arrived in my mailbox for, I think, $2.19 of shipping. So I really appreciate that when you can get something shipped to you for a low price, because sometimes it's a little daunting to say, oh, I want to order something, but then you have to think about adding another $15 to $17 on there for shipping.
Yeah, for shipping.
And that's a reality. It's very expensive to ship things in Canada, but I love how quick she is to ship things out. And I like getting something for a $2 shipping fee. And no, Nick, they're not as smooth as butter, but they are pretty darn smooth. And
well, I mean, would you want your socks to feel like butter? Come on.
Yes, absolutely you would. It'd be like
I'm going to soak a pair of socks in butter and let's see you walk across my wood floor.
Your feet would be so smooth. No, you just put them on and sleep in them that way.
I can't even stand the thought of the feeling of butter on my feet. Anyway. Okay. Do you have any whips?
I only have one that I worked on because one whip became a finish. So how many do you have? You've probably got a few more than me. Just two. Okay, well, you go first then.
Okay, well, I did finish one of these. So this is the, pardon me?
They're so cute.
This is the, do they just call it the work sock or what do they call it? The marled work sock?
It's marled sock.
Marled
or the
sock?
pattern or the yarn?
For the pattern, like what is the pattern called?
I think it's called the marled
work sock. I
think
it was actually called their anniversary sock because they originally did it as an anniversary for Leo and Roxy.
Well, that could be too, yes.
So anyways, this is the a work sock. It's the Leo and Roxy yarn. So it is their marled sock yarn, which they have dyed in the pink flamenco colorway. And then they've dyed their basics over gray is what this color is in the heel, which they don't call pink flamenco, but I can't remember what the name of it is. And then the black is also their basics in the basic black. I think it was basic black.
I think so, yes.
So anyway, so this is just the original work sock pattern, but substituting the cream color that's normally in it with the black. And then, of course, substituting the white and black marl with the colored pink flamenco marl.
Very nice. So, I like that.
Yeah, I really like it. So it's I've got the other one. I've got the rib of the other one done. So it'll be my train knitting. So hopefully I'll have a pair done for them, but I really only had to get one done. So that's done. But I'm sure with that length on the train, and I'm going to get some of it done hopefully tomorrow. I'm sure that, and I think the first day of the marketplace is not till Saturday anyway.
That's right.
So,
but we have a big shopping day planned on Friday. So there will be a lot of knitting.
I can knit and shop. But I might need my poles for that.
Speaking of, well, no, not speaking of that. This was lunch conversation at work today. A coworker was telling me that he found out there is somewhere here, drivable distance to us, is an alpaca farm where you get to meet the alpacas, and then you get to go on a little trail walk with the alpacas.
Oh.
And I said, oh, that sounds so much fun. I said, I'm going to find me out the name of the place. I want to go and check this out. And I said, that would totally be video for the podcast. I said, I could be knitting and walking with the alpacas. And he goes, you can't knit and walk at the same time. I said, says you. I said, I have clothing with built-in pockets exactly for knitting and walking. Maybe Noelle can't knit and walk because she falls down.
Not anymore. Nobody that I go with will let me.
So I was thinking we'll have to find this out, and we'll have to go visit some alpacas and go on a little toot with them and do some knitting with them. So, and we'll have to be knitting alpaca yarn at that time. So, okay. I have I have another project that I'm working on, and it is my.
I'll look for the
Is it the V-back tee? I can't remember the name of it. I don't know if this is going to make an appearance at Knit City or not. I got to the part. Okay, so all of this would be sort of the front, but it is interchangeable. It doesn't matter. So there's my section, and it's showing up pretty darn glittery down here off of the LED light. So that's the front, and then there's the glitter V in the back. I know it's not very V-like, but so I have tried this on. This is a good fit. I've split for the sleeves. What I'm doing now is putting in the short rows that are supposed to be evening out. So you see how now the V-back is longer in the back than it is in the front. So you do these short rows where I haven't done any further stitches on the V at all. I'm just going back and forth around to the V, creating these short rows that are going to bring this down. I mean, this is pretty much at the point. The sweater is not much longer than this point. Once I get down, once I get down to here, the sweater is not much longer than that because this is a crop sweater as well. So it's not like there's a lot left to do on the sweater. I didn't get any knit time in yesterday, and I thought I would have more on Sunday. Sunday was going to be my, like, I'm not getting off this couch, I'm going to knit today day. And it didn't happen. So, but I'm really liking it. And I'm using the, excuse me, my gosh, we're a pair, aren't we? We have to get out of this pollen.
So I'm using my window and I didn't.
Ours are all open too. So I'm using the Holst yarn in super soft, and the colorway is slow. And then I'm using the Knit Picks. I think is it Alpaca Cloud maybe? And I'm very near the end of my first skein. And this colorway is Oscar. And they're pairing up together really well, I think. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. And it's, I love it. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get it finished, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it before we go. I have to wind up a second ball of this tonight. And I'm probably going to wind some of this off and take it with me. Because once I get past those short rows, like seriously, there's not a whole lot left. So we might be doing a little steam block up in the hotel room if I can finish it, because the sleeves are pretty much non-existent. This already hangs down over my shoulders a little bit. So there's going to be precious few rows of a sleeve and then a bind off. So it's very blingy, very blingy. And I'm using the King Cole Cosmos, and mine is the colorway Lunar. Okay. I was right last week. I think that's what I said. And somebody said, no, it's not that, but no. And it's very, very sparkly. And I still have a lot left. I'm going to say there's probably, I haven't weighed it, but it feels like there's still an awful lot. Like there's a thickness in here. So I think there would definitely be enough left to, like, you could add this into a hat with some mohair or something. So really good value, because I don't remember, but I know that these were not very expensive at all.
I mean, I only used, in the Felix, I only used 1.5 for a whole cardigan, and with the sparkle in everywhere.
Yeah. So that's my V-back tee. We'll see.
Okay. And I have my Lento, which is almost done. Okay. So this is the Lento by Joanna Hitala. And this one is done, again, this is done in Leo and Roxy. Again, I seem to have a theme here. So it's done in Leo and Roxy. This is their natural sock in the colorway Vixen.
Yes.
And then so there's the sock, the natural sock. So it is non-superwash. And then I've got their mohair in the colorway Ominous. And then I've got this is the Lang Paillettes sparkle, and this is called Dark Rainbow. So, and all I've got left is, I've got 15 rows and then the rib. That's it.
Oh, you'll be done, no problem. You'll be done tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 3/4 length. My sleeves are 3/4 length sleeves. This is a little bit less cropped because I wanted to be sure that I could wear it with jeans, or even wear it like it. I kind of tried it on with just like a black collared shirt underneath it, and it looked really good just with the black,
that would look really nice.
The black tails. And I just love this sparkle. So anyway, so the sweaters that we've showed you, I took a picture just to show you the difference in the sparkles. Okay, so here's a picture of the 3 different sparkles. So the black one is the Lang Paillette. So you can see that it's got, if I held it up, you can see it's got like a sequin every, I'd say in an inch, there's at least 4 sequins. So it's like, it's almost totally sequined. And then the pink one is the sequinicity, and it's got like, it's got a silky thread to it. And then the sequins are probably every 3 inches. And then the bottom one is the King Cole Cosmos. And it's like the thread on it is a metallic thread. So you not only do you get the sequins, you also get the bling from the metallic thread.
Yes.
And then the sequins on that are probably maybe about every 3 inches.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say 4 inches, but because there's definitely not as many sequins in my band of my sweater as there is in the 2 of your projects.
No, but this is like the sequins are tinier. So if you look at the paillettes, the sequins are much tinier than they are in the other 2, but there's a whole lot more of them. So, you know, just to kind of show you the difference in what you're going to do. And then it depends. Like I found again with this one that I'm working with now, the paillettes, it does add a little bit of extra weight to your sweater. Whereas the King Cole, it really doesn't really change your gauge, but this one does. And then we had looked at last week, we had shown a couple of different patterns and ways that you could use the sequins if you just want to add a little bit of bling. So there's sweaters that just have like a little bit of mohair up at the top and you can add it in. We talked last week about doing some of your Christmas baubles and putting some sequins into those.
Yes.
And I still plan on more sequin sweaters. It's just because I just love when I do this and it just sparkles.
That's right. Because we live in Sarnia and we have so many sparkly places to go.
Why can't you be sparkly? If you want to be sparkly, you can be sparkly.
You be sparkly. You be sparkly. You sparkly little elf.
I am going to be sparkly.
We've gone off. We are like on the sequin train. So remember the show called The Golden Girls?
Are you saying we're that old?
No, I'm saying we're going to be the Glitter Gals. That'll be our new name. And Julia will be a
Glitter Girls.
Yeah. And Julia will be in Montreal and she's got a glitter sweater. And I know, like once you make one, you want to keep making it.
We can be the Sparkle Sisters.
I have to say, I ended up with an injury from the sparkles. Okay. So when I hold my yarn, I'll just demonstrate how this happened. Well, how the heck did it happen? Oh yeah, because it's on that hand, Kelly. Oh my gosh, it's been a long week. So when I tension my yarn, I go around that finger, and then it drifts over that finger there. So you can see it's still there. See the where? Let me see. Oh, I got to cover up that. See that little cut there? Well, it was a bigger cut because I must have one of the little sequins must have cut right there on that spot. And then once it was cut, there was no stopping it. So every day it was getting a little more red and a little more red. And it's not that I don't feel like I tension anything very tight, but I was like working so consistently to try to get that done. And just constantly that little metal sequin or little plastic sequin kept dragging across my finger and eventually broke my tender skin. So it was sore for a couple of days and it kind of, it got a little red and angry, but we're all good now.
I obviously must tension mine differently because I had no problem.
Kim says, okay, Kim gets comment of the night. Kim says, we will twinkle when we tinkle. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Kim. That's a good one. Good one. So yes, we're having fun with all the things that sparkle. And somebody prompted us last week to talk about a little knit along with some sparkle. And we're thinking maybe as we get, once we get past summer and we start thinking about making some Christmas knits, maybe we will do a little sparkle along and it would be fun. You could add it into some hats, a little bit into some cowls, maybe just to do like some wintry type projects. It'd be so pretty to put in gloves, not gloves that are going to touch that finger, mind you, but yeah, just something pretty. I'm sure we can do lots.
Well, I already have another one planned. I don't have a picture of it. I didn't put a picture of it. I'll show it next week, but I'm doing another test knit for Beth McDonald Stone, and it's a pullover sweater, but it's got stars in the yoke.
Oh, so nice. That would be really pretty too.
The stars are going to sparkle.
Very pretty.
And I think I'm going to do it like with like white stars with the white sequin, like the one that's got all the little tiny sequins, but in the white. And then my background's going to be like a deep Christmas red for a nice Christmas sweater. That's my plan anyway. Could change by the time I start. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I am totally enjoying this. Like I said, I had a vision. I wasn't sure it was going to work, but like I loved I loved the concept of just putting the sparkle in to highlight an area of the knitting. I still don't know what it's going to look like when it's finished. It may be a total flop. It may still not be what exactly what I'm looking for. But so far, I mean, in the try on, I was not unhappy. So I think there's a lot you can do. Another shirt that I was thinking about that would be absolutely gorgeous with probably the paillette sparkles that you have, just so that you don't get so much glitter, but you get more
Sparkle.
would be this is it the souffle tee where you
Yes.
use the mohair
And
up
you could do that
here?
in the yoke. Yep.
You could do it in the yoke, and then it has just a little mohair ruffle. I was also thinking another one that would be gorgeous would be the diaphanous raglan, which would be stunning because those had mohair sleeves, and
Yep.
it would be so pretty to have just like some glitter in the sleeves. I think there's a lot you can do with it.
Yep.
And while it may have bordered on gaudy back in the 80s, and we probably would have poo-pooed it as we were going through stash, going, oh my gosh, who would have that? I remember like the eyelash yarn too. Like, Lord help us if that comes back, because
Yeah, well, you know what? It's got a time and a place, right?
it
So
does.
wear what you like.
That's
Wear
right.
what you like.
Knit and wear what brings you joy.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, absolutely. All right. What are
do
we
you have
at
any
next?
do you have any more whips?
No, not that
No,
I've been
I just have
actively
a
working on.
couple that I'm doing a test knit. I'm also doing a test knit for Natalie, which I can't really show, but I'm just going to show you my yarn. So it's sparkle. Of course, it's sparkle.
I have that one too.
Hold it in
That's
front of
really
my face.
fun.
So this is the West Yorkshire Spinners. This was one
Mhm.
of their Christmas colors. I think it was from 2 years ago. It's called Silent Night. So it's blue sparkles. And I haven't decided. It's a colorwork sock. I'm either going to hold it with this, which is Regia Soft Glitter. So it's got glitter. But I really think that I want to hold it with this to do that. And this is the Poppies Pom Pom. And this is the Samoyed yarn. And I think that would be really nice with
I would say go with that one, because I
that.
know that when I did my
Yep.
herding cat sock and I made one of the cats like a fuzzy cat using the Poppy's palm, I absolutely loved the way it looked against the fingering weight. So my vote is use the fuzzy yarn.
Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do, but I wasn't
There
sure.
might be a time where, you can over glitter yourself, and there's no need to put
And
two glitter yarns together.
So, and then, believe it or not, Penelope is going to be 1 in 2 weeks. So I got to knit her a sweater too. So I looked at a couple, and I think this one is really cute. This is the Cardamine by Pauline Walter. And
That's
it's just got
gorgeous.
like that really pretty little daisies up at the top. And I would probably, if I did those, I would look for daisy buttons to go
I was
down
just going to
the front
say
of
the
it.
buttons could have been a little pickup on those sweaters, but I absolutely
Yeah.
love those little sweaters, that tiny bit of
So I like
stitching.
that. I love it. It's just a little bit of stitching, just gives it a little bit extra. And then, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. And then I thought these are the colors I think I'm going to use. So it'll be this like vibrant coral. And then my daisies will just be in the off-white, and then I'll look for the little buttons, and I might look for a little yellow center to put in the daisies, and then I'm sure I can find white with, and I thought that'll make a really cute little cardigan. And there was, I mean, if I get time, I would love to make her more than one, but I don't know if I'll have time. I also found this little one, and this one is
Oh, that's
called,
cute.
this is called the, come on, take that one off, this one on. This is called the Flutterby Cardigan by Kitty Winks Knits.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought it was really cute too. So like they've just got a little tiny bit of detail to kind of give them that little bit extra. And I just thought that was so, but I really like the little one with the daisies.
I could see that one even on Miles. I love that. I love that color too.
So yeah,
fun.
so really, really cute little cardigans. So the next knits will be socks and baby knits. Plus I've also got to catch up on my Christmas socks. Yikes. Maybe I could put sparkle in them.
I know. I didn't. Well, the month is not over. I have time. Coming up. I haven't done my May section on Natalie's socks yet. So, there was a question here. Sandy said that she got a little confused in your explanation on the ranunculus. You cast on 74 instead of 60 to make the neck smaller.
It wasn't to make the neck smaller. It was so that like when you've got 60 stitches, it seems like it always looks really spread out. So to put 74 stitches on it just means the stitches aren't going to get all bent out of shape because there's more fabric there that you don't have to stretch it out to the right size. So, and I think there was a comment from someone else here that says they normally start with 90 stitches.
I did see that in there too. Yes. I don't know who commented that, but I did see that. Yes.
I just found like the 60 stitches is fine. I just found like your rib is almost like totally stretched out where it doesn't even look like a rib. At least when I do it, the rib looks like it's totally stretched out. So I've done a few of them and I just thought I'm just going to knit more so the neck doesn't have to stretch out as much to fit over your head. So.
All right. Did we have anything else? Did you buy anything this week?
I did not.
I was going to say, you better say no.
I didn't buy anything this week. I bought something a couple of weeks ago that I keep forgetting to show. Just a minute, because I've got a picture of it. It's just I bought this book. This is only yoking.
I was just looking at that. I was going to pop the picture and say, why do you have this in here? What's the story?
Because I bought it, but I bought the online version because I always do my charts and everything in Knit Companion anyway. So I bought the online version. So this has got 12 different yoked patterns in it. So some are, I think it's got sport weight, DK weight, Aran weight. And then some of the yokes are not color work, they're texture.
Nice. Very nice.
And they're really pretty. So I had seen the book and I really liked it. And so I thought, well, I really like that sweater on the front.
I do too. I like that.
So I did pick that up. And like I said, there are different weights, different yokes, because you've got the ones that are color work. There's also the textured ones are really nice too. So, so that's got to be at least 3 weeks ago. And I just have it in there and I keep forgetting. So we better quickly go through our knit-alongs.
Sure. I'll go pull banners, you talk.
Okay. So, we've got our sock knit-along that goes all year. So started January the 1st, we go to December 31st. We draw prizes at the end of every month. We draw a pattern prize for a pattern by Natalie of Remembrances Pottery. And that's who I'm doing the sock test knit for. And I'll get to show you that soon. And it is a really cute pattern. And we also draw a sock yarn prize, and then we have a grand prize at the end of the year. So all you have to do for that knit along is basically just finish socks. When you finish them, put them in the finished object thread on Ravelry. So that's the sock knit along. Then we've also got our hashtag KNP Smash That Stash. So all you have to do for that one is knit from stash yarn. You have to use at least 50 grams of fiber that's been in your stash since or prior to January 1st, 2023.
Yes.
And whips are allowed. And again, we are drawing on a quarterly basis for that. So we've already drawn the first quarter. The second quarter will be anything that was from April 1st until June 30th. Same with the last 2 quarters of the year. And then at the very end of the year, we're going to do a prize for someone that has finished something in each of the 4 quarters.
Yes.
So. And then the last one that we have going right at the moment is our Burra Cal or our Marie Wallen Makealong. And all you have to do there is make a pattern by Marie Wallen or Susan Crawford. There's a wide variety of patterns by those designers. There are cardigans, sweaters, hats, mitts, socks. I'm not sure if there's gloves, there might be. There's also household items. There's also crocheted items. So, pick anything you like. There's a finished object thread in Ravelry. There are also other podcasters that we're teaming with for this. There is a 3-ply podcast, Around the Table Yarns, Dude Knits, Frivolous and Frugal, Got Whips, Magpie's Cottage, Pandemic Knitter, and PJ Knits. They might have slightly different rules than ours, so you would have to go and look at their podcasts and find out what their rules are. But as long as it's following their rules and our rules, you can double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip, as much as you want.
Yes. So. It's not rude. Not at all. So by next week, when we're here on Tuesday, Knit City will have been behind us. So I'm just so excited to go. I'm excited to get out of town on a little trip. I'm not excited about having to get up so early in the morning. So when we went to Chicago last year, we had to get up really early to get across the border to catch the Amtrak. And I could
I
not
didn't think
sleep
it
the
was
night
that
before.
early.
Well, it was early because I hadn't slept. I mean, at all. I just laid awake in bed. And then I thought, oh my gosh, and Noelle will have gone to bed at 9 o'clock at night the
No,
night
I didn't. I can't.
before.
I can't.
And you
If
couldn't
I
sleep that
know,
night either.
I know if I have to get up at a certain time, even though I never need an alarm clock ever. I just usually always wake up. But if I know I have to get up at a certain time, even though I would be up by that time normally, usually I can't sleep.
Well,
So
I didn't sleep that night. It was terrible. And this time we have to be in London, you said at 7.
yeah, at the
So
latest.
so that means you said I have to be at your house at 5:15. So that means I need to leave my house at about 4:30 to be there.
No, it doesn't take 45 minutes to get to my
Okay,
house.
but by the time I say 4:30, so then I'm gonna be 5 or 10 minutes late, so then that puts me on time. So if I say 4:30, then that means I need to be up at 3:45. I should just not go to bed, but I need to go to bed. I need to sleep. I don't wanna be so exhausted. And then we have that long train ride. That's gonna be a long day. I'm sorry, that's a
Sleep
long
on the
day of
train.
traveling.
Ross said sleep on the train.
I don't sleep on the train very well. Well, I might.
Bring your earplugs. You said you bought new earplugs.
I didn't buy them. I chickened out. I thought, well, maybe I don't really need them, but I should have.
Oh, well. Anyway,
I'm looking ridiculously forward to seeing our friends in Montreal. And yeah, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be so good to see knitty people. And I think, did you hear though that the restaurant in the hotel is
yes,
closed for renovations?
closed.
Yes, that's disappointing because it was a really nice meet place to just kind of hang out with people. And yeah, and the food was really good in there too. So that's a little disappointing. So we're going to try. So last year we did a little podcast. We recorded in Montreal and I was able to get it up like within a day or two of getting home. So I don't know if I can pull that off again this year, but I think we're going to try because we talked to some people there last year,
Yep.
did some interviews. And then we did a little segment from our hotel room before we left that morning, just talking about the fun we had and some of the things we got. And so hopefully we can do that as well. And we've got some friends that are traveling with us on the train. So it's just going to be a really fun event.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun event. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think I'm at the end of all the things I had here to talk about.
That's all I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have to figure out what I'm going to knit in Montreal. I'll just buy something and start something new.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. We can buy something. It's not like we will be yarn challenged. I think I may only take my sweater and I think 2 pairs of socks just so that I have something to work on for the knit night. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the visiting. The knitting I can do at home when I'm by myself. And I'm really just looking forward to being social and meeting people that we haven't seen in a while, our friends,
and meeting people that we haven't met
new
yet.
People that we haven't met yet, but we already feel like we know.
We know them. That's right.
For sure. If you see us, if you're going to Knit City and you see us, we'll be the extremely sparkly people. If you see us, please come and say hi. And I genuinely mean that. Like even if you see us and we're already talking to other people or we're sitting and knitting with some friends, grab a seat and come and sit with us.
Yep.
We just want to meet everybody that we can meet. We have so much fun going out to these little festivals and getting together with friends. So, and Bobette is saying, please hit the thumbs up. Yes, please, everyone, hit the thumbs up before you leave. That's really helpful. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks so much for coming out tonight, friends.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about next week.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how much knitting we'll have, but
I don't know. Oh no, but we've got a lot of time on that train, so there should be
see.
something. Definitely something. And
well, I'll finish my lento for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
I have to, or else I'll have to wear it with a jacket over top of it to hide the one sleeve.
That's right. Well, I am not above wearing something with a knitting needle hanging out of it or a pony cord. So we'll see. We'll see how far I get. But
maybe
anyway.
we could get sparkly pony cord. That glow in the dark stuff.
The glow in the dark. There was a glitter one, was there not? Wasn't there a glitter one?
There was.
So then we could be sparkly. We could glow in the dark. We have all the bases covered. So
yeah. So
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, take care, everybody.
Yeah, everybody have a great week, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks for everything. Mwah! I'm just excited. Happy knitting, everybody.